welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Unfortunately, AJ's not been able to make it today. He's a little bit unwell, so it's just me, and we've got our special guest, Josh from the Stillverse. So I'll bring him on in a minute or so. I just want to say, hope everyone's had a great Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you had a great time with your family, and looking forward to the year ahead. Now we're in 2026. Can you believe it? So yeah, this stream is just obviously we've got Josh on from the Stillverse. Josh has a website. Well, he has a shop on the Etsy website, and yeah, we'll talk through that. If you're new to this channel, you know, and you don't know much about what I talk about, but yeah, Josh is he's got this business that he's for physical media collectors, so we'll have a chat with him about what he does. Also probably just like to talk a little bit about maybe the films that we saw last year in 2025, sort of the highlights of those films, what you enjoyed, what I enjoyed, and obviously what's going to be coming up in 2026, sort of films that I'm excited for. And yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments in the live chat as to what you're looking forward to. Right, well, let's get Josh on, and let's have a chat with him about his business, the Stillverse.
Hey guys.
Hi Josh.
Hey guys.
Welcome.
Hello. You all right? Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All well.
Nice. Thanks for joining.
No problem.
Like I say, Josh has a company called the Stillverse, which you can find on Etsy. And I will leave a link in the description after the stream. I've got to add that link in. But yeah, please go over to his Etsy page and browse his store.
Perfect. Thank you. Cheers for that.
No problem. So, Josh, just before we get into sort of the Stillverse, what you do on your business, just tell us a little bit about your sort of background, about how you got into sort of movie collecting. How many years have you been a movie collector?
Yep. So yeah, so I'm in my 30s now. But I used to collect VHS from a young age. I remember as a child going to my dad's house and watching Jungle Book on repeat and all these different films just over and over again. Same as like recording films off the TV. If James Bond came on, I'll be recording them on a videotape. Trying to stop it where the adverts come in. So I'm sort of at the right age, I think, because I wasn't there when VHS began, but I was there enough to enjoy VHS as well. Like I remember blockbusters. Used to be really excited to go there at the end of the month. And then so I started a little collection of VHS. And then around the time of when PlayStation 2 came out, I got my first DVD, which was Mission Impossible, the first one.
Okay.
And yeah, I just remember being blown away by all the extras that you get in the menu. Watching how they made the films, audio commentary. I used to watch it over and over again. And then after that, I decided that I wanted to move on to DVDs. So slowly, all my VHS tapes moved to DVDs. I ended up, all my pocket money that I would get was solely go on DVDs. I had a really tiny room, but all my shelves were just DVDs everywhere. I wouldn't have anything else than just DVDs. I would barely even go out with my friends as a kid because I wanted to just watch the DVDs and wanted to watch the extras, watch even the credits. I've got loads of siblings, and I used to just sit with one of them especially and just go home and just watch films with him, educate him about films. I just had a real buzz for it, really. And then going to high school, secondary school, I studied media studies. So I really got into it, learned more about behind the scenes and more about theory. Same as sixth form, I then did more media studies as well. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a career. I just knew I enjoyed films and I just wanted to learn more about it.
Mm.
Well, if I could get a job in film, that'd be great, but I never actually knew what I wanted to do. I just wanted to know every single detail about how films are made. So after sixth form, I went to college, did film and TV there as well for 2 years. So I learned even more about film, and I did like pretend live shows as well, and had to make short mini films, and
Okay.
coming out there with triple distinction stars, like the highest grade possible. But again, I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to go to uni. I still didn't have an idea what I wanted to do as a job. So after searching around, I ended up working in a one-screen cinema, like a little independent cinema in my town, and it was run by like 4 people. So it was very small, very tight knit. So I was doing part-time work there with the big film reels that I had to splice together, and I had to physically turn the wheel to get the film going. And
Wow.
put the do the lamp system, and then I had to quickly run downstairs and turn off the lights and shut all the doors, and it was good fun. I was doing that about one night a week, and then I got a job in marketing. So I started doing more Facebook, Instagram side of things. Did that for 3 years with the cinema running alongside. I remember getting my first Blu-ray, which I think back then was Fast and Furious 5. I think it was. It was like a triple disc DVD, Blu-ray Ultra, and I remember watching that and just looking at just like grains of sand, and I was thinking that I've never seen like grains of sand on a film look that clear. So then I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to start replacing all my DVDs now with Blu-rays. So slowly I'm selling my DVDs, and then in the meantime, I did my marketing for 3 years, and I became full-time at the cinema. So I was there 35 hours a week, sometimes 12 hours a day. So I was getting my film fix from being at the cinema.
Mm.
And that was great. I was there about 10 years or so, until streaming and COVID and all of that ended up putting a stop to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a shame. But we had a big multiplex come around the corner, and then it just sunk us over time. We were getting 1 or 2 people in, which was a shame. And then after that, I then moved on to steelbooks. I didn't really know what to expect until I physically held a steelbook. I think it was Creed, and I ordered it, and I thought, this is just a work of art. Like, this is just something I've never seen before. And then, so over time, I haven't got a full steelbook collection, but I've started replacing things with steelbook. And then, let's jump ahead a little bit. I had a child who was born with quite a few severe disabilities. So I had to give up quite a bit of work for a while. And then I came to the idea of creating Stillverse. And then I'm just still collecting films, still going to cinema regularly. And the Stillverse is nice because it's a business where I create stickers, steelbook stickers, to basically go over the top of existing steelbooks. So you can change your artwork, or you can make a steelbook that doesn't exist. But the thing is with this, it's not a fully custom steelbook. Instead, you're using stickers to make your own. So it's a lot cheaper, because I think you can get a custom steelbook for around maybe about £50. I spent about £50 on one. I had to wait about.
More expensive, can't they?
It was, and I had to wait about 5 months for it. It took a long time to arrive, and it looks great, and the seller's a great person, but the stickers that we sell can be under £15, and you can replace them if you want as well. And we've moved on. We've got magnets as well, so you can have magnet covers to put on your steelbooks, which means you can replace them instantly. You can swap and change whenever you like. We also do spine stickers. So a lot a lot of steelbooks and Blu-rays and stuff, we found that spines barely ever match in a series. Like they don't think about stuff like that. A lot of the time, or the titles will be the same font, but the title will be like one above the other, or they'll add a Blu-ray logo to it or something. So we ended up moving into making spines as well. And then we also do Blu-ray covers as well. We do on this inkjet paper, so it's non-glossy, but that's become a massive hit. And yeah, we've been doing really well ever since. Really, it's been doing really great. Definitely. And
Yeah,
Matt, been a regular customer as well. So.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, I've got a couple more things lined up for you for the next few weeks as well. So
yeah, we're ready. Yeah,
I'll be doing that. But yeah, no, I mean, going back to the sort of magnets, I think that's a lot of collectors are sort of got OCD, I guess, is probably the term to use. I'm not saying that they are OCD, but a lot of us as collectors, when we put our steelbooks on the shelves, it is nice for that font to kind of line up and be sort of, just have a nice flow to it on your shelf. Yeah. Because often that's the thing with steelbooks, whilst they're great sort of covers, front and back, inside artwork, a lot of the time they're just on your shelf. You don't actually see that artwork until you pull it off. So that spine is actually quite an integral part of people's collections, sort of looking on, especially when I think people are showing their Blu-ray collections on videos. They're going through the shelves. For a lot of some people don't mind about it, and I try not to let it bother me, but it is nice. It is nice to have a nice shelf of films, isn't it?
100%. And it's true what you say about most steelbook collectors are very OCD about that sort of thing. Like we're all very particular, and it annoys me that steelbooks can cost anywhere from brand new from like £30 to hundreds of pounds, and they just can't be consistent, or they will bring out a brand new edition after they've just released an edition. And then those things just frustrated me as a steelbook collector. So that is one thing where our stickers and magnets just come in handy, because instead of going, I'm going to have to replace this steelbook because that one looks a lot better, you just come to us and it's a lot cheaper. And the customers that we have, I think last year we had 55 repeat buyers.
Wow.
Just constantly come back. I mean, some people we have come to us maybe twice a month, and they've been doing that we've been open for about 1.5 years now, and they're just constantly wanting to update their collections, or they've bought a steelbook but something's not quite right, or even what I found is there are some steelbooks without any title on the spine.
We've had those.
So I've had a lot of people come to us and be like, it's got no title, can you make a spine for us? Which gives us good business, but it's a shame that we have to do that when people are spending all that money on these steelbooks.
And as we're seeing, and AJ and myself have talked about this numerous times, the physical media market, unfortunately, with the sort of increase in streaming, it's a fact that, unfortunately, the marketplace is shrinking for physical media. I mean, I saw something this morning, I don't know how true it is, but one YouTuber putting up that even Walmart now in America is stopping steelbooks, which I need to do a bit more research into that, but because this guy does tend to sort of put stuff, sort of clickbait kind of thumbnails. But that's interesting that if Walmart are pulling out of the steelbook market in America, pretty much I think they're the only main retailer left, because obviously Best Buy pulled out. So need to do a little bit more sort of looking into that. But we are seeing, I think, a the price increase, definitely.
Mhm.
I mean, I can remember when steelbooks. Well, I can remember. Do you ever remember the retailer Play.com?
Yep, I used to use them for all my DVDs. I used to buy all my James Bond DVDs on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
yeah.
started steelbooks, and I can remember when they were 9.99.
Oh wow, Christ.
Yeah,
Okay.
9.99 they were originally.
Wow.
Um,
Amazing.
and now you're looking at £35. I
Yeah,
know
I
we've
mean,
got 4K. I mean, that was back in the day of Blu-ray, but
yeah,
it's still a big jump in price.
it is. Yeah, I mean, I use Klarna for most of my stuff. Like I use to pay free monthly or clear pay. There's no way I can
Mm.
ever afford a steelbook or justify buying a steelbook up front.
No,
But I mean, I think Zavvi is probably my best place for steelbooks. I think, even though they're not always great at packaging, but I feel like they do like midnight releases of steelbooks. I think they really understand what they're doing, even though they should package stuff better. But on their Facebook, they're constantly midnight release, and then everyone's there at midnight waiting for the steelbook,
yeah.
and they're sold out the next morning. Um,
Unfortunately, with Zavvi, their customer service, I think, lets them down.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you
it's
go
true.
to companies like HMV. I mean,
Yeah,
HMV went bust twice, but they have come back, and I
yeah,
think it's more probably the vinyl side of things. But there does seem to be. I think the younger generations now are tending to want more tangible products.
yeah,
I think we went through a phase of everyone going to digital, and now we're getting a shift back. I mean, people are still getting fed up with the streaming side of things because there's so much dilution of
and the price
movies.
increase. They're increasing the prices a lot.
Absolutely. So
Um,
you could say, I wouldn't say there's necessarily going to be a resurgence back to the times before streaming, but maybe a balancing out of things.
yeah,
Um,
hopefully.
but I do think what your business
Mm,
is creating an opportunity for steelbook collectors that probably are on a budget,
yep,
maybe can't afford to buy the brand new releases at 35 plus.
yep,
Um, your, the stickers. Again, I mean, I've always been a collector. I think there's two types of collectors. There's the collectors that like to just get the editions as they're manufactured. They
yep,
don't want to touch them. They're quite happy. And then there's the other type of the collector, which is happy to customize their own stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I've done it not just with steelbooks. I do
Mm,
it with all sorts of like box sets. I'll
mhm.
combine different editions because ultimately it's my collection and it's what is important to me. It's
Yep.
subjective, all of this,
Oh
not
yeah,
there's no
100%.
right or wrong.
No.
It's entirely up to you what you collect and how you collect,
Yeah.
um, and and what artwork you want. Because often these retailers, I mean, just to give you an example, Predator Badlands,
Yeah.
they've announced the steelbook for that,
Okay.
and I saw it and I thought, I don't like that artwork.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. For me, I prefer the Amaray case that they're bringing out.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
artwork on that looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm thinking I'm probably going to go for the Amaray release rather than the Steelbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
But somebody like yourself is going to be able to give us custom artwork that speaks to you.
Yep.
And like I say, what I might like is different to say what AJ might like. He
100%.
might like a different design, and that's
Yeah.
absolutely fine because
Yeah.
it's what is important to you. But you're providing that service
Yeah.
to us collectors so we can have what we want.
That's what I mean. I mean, I've seen the same film probably about 100 times, like a request for a film cover, but it's different every time. Um, yeah, and it is all about personal taste. Or people go, "Oh, do you think this looks silly if I do this?" And I say, "It's your steelbook. Like, if you want that,
Absolutely.
it's not about what I want. If you want that." Or they'll go, "Oh, there's just this little number on there, and I don't want this number on there," and stuff. Like, fine, we'll get rid of it. We'll change it
Yeah.
for it. Or title replacements as well. We get a lot of that as well. A lot of the time, I find now is that people want to condense their collection. So they've got like, this is one guy who's been ordering me for a long time, but he must have 3,500 steelbooks.
Wow.
And he's got to a point where he's still buying them every month, but he just has no space for them anymore. So he needs to now put 2 or 3 discs into one steelbook.
Right.
I've crossed that problem as well. Like the shelves behind you, that's all I've got. I haven't got any other space at the moment to fit any Blu-rays or steelbooks. So I'm slowly condensing my collections down. So I think I've got one here. So like Expendables. So I've made that. There's 4 discs in there.
Right.
And I've just made that because that saves up 3 more spaces.
Yeah.
I need to buy more or something. So that's what I've been doing to my own collection. That's what people are coming to me for, because they want to keep collecting, but they haven't got space to collect. So yeah, so that's what.
This is it. Sorry, I might just seem a bit distracted. AJ's trying to come on to the stream actually, but he's having technical issues.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've just messaged him on WhatsApp, and he says give him 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll be able to join us, which will be great.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
I think he'll give some great input. But yeah. Absolutely. Space, I think, for all of us as collectors is the number one issue, which is unfortunately in my setup. I'm at the point now where I can't really collect much more. I recently built myself a new media cabinet, which has gone into my son's room. Because he's now living away. But again, I can't take over his entire bedroom because the wife won't be happy. But again, I think it comes back to sort of tailoring your collection. And I think as collectors, sometimes we do get a bit carried away with maybe picking up a lot of things that maybe we will only watch once. And it'll just sit on the shelf. Yeah, I'm definitely one of them, definitely. But
so that's been the latest thing, is condensing. Especially for me, I look at my shelves all the time and I think, how can I condense that? The only problem I have is when I know there's going to be a sequel. I think, well, what's the point? If I know there's going to be 10 more films, I have to make sure that a franchise is finished. So I did like a Planet of the Apes one recently, which is like the first trilogy. So that saved like 2 more spaces, because now I've put them all into one case. I did that big Marvel project where I've put, I think it was 10 discs into one 25mm case. Well, that saved me 10 spaces on my shelf. So that has been my personal project, but also the most requests I've had, definitely, so far. Definitely.
And just sort of carrying on with, obviously you're saying, with the franchises, again, this is something, and I think it's done deliberately. I think he is joining.
Perfect.
And let me just sort out his camera first. I think they do this deliberately. Say Fast and Furious has had like
I'll show you that
10 films now, whatever it is.
But
you'll find, and the Mission Impossible ones as well, is they'll bring out like a design which flows from, say, films 1 to 6. But then the 7th one is a different design.
I had that problem. So I had, if you include the spin-off, I had 11 Fast and Furious cases. All the spines were different. And then, Alan's come.
Here he is. Hello, mate.
Nice to see you.
Jen. Sorry, I'm a bit delicate at the minute.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining. Hope you're feeling a bit better.
Oh, not really, but there we go. I woke up dead on 10, and there we go. And I can't. I'm on my phone. I'm accessing through my phone. Because the tablet won't allow me to, for some reason, use the microphone or camera. I don't know. Anyway, hi Josh, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, hope you feel better soon. So with the Fast and Furious, I end up just going, right, okay, so I'm going to do mine. So I did 1 to 6, and fitting that, and then because I know there's going to be another one, I've done 7 to 12 in that. Obviously, with the perks of me doing my own cases and stuff, I can just redo my covers or buy a bigger case or something, and just if they bring out 5 or 10 more, which no doubt they probably will, I would just update my cases. But that is an issue, and that took up, like I said, 11 spaces on my shelf, and and now I've freed up 11 spaces. Well, 9 spaces, but it is a really frustrating thing when nothing matches, or they bring out new editions, or they don't bring out box sets, or they don't bring out like the Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. They never brought out a sequel trilogy steelbook that I've seen. I've never seen one. So again, I had to make my own. But yeah, it's frustrating. But then again, that's what we're here for as well, to try and help do that and cheaper as well.
Absolutely. One thing I was going to ask you is, I quite like collecting lenticular editions.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're looking to expand into?
I'd have to see. I'd have to look into our printing system. I'd think we'd need a whole new printer, I'd think, for that. So I'd have to weigh it up. I'd have to look into what products you need, and then go from there and see if there's a big enough ask for it for me to then invest in a brand new, bigger printer. That's the only issue. Haven't had that many requests yet, but if loads of people want it and I know that people are going to buy it, then I'll do that. That's the same with magnets. I didn't start with magnets. I started with stickers and Blu-ray covers, and then people constantly ask me about magnets. I looked into it. I could do it on my printer, and then now we sell magnets. So that's sort of how it's been going. I mean, the business started just doing spines. I didn't think I was going to go into covers. I thought it was just spines, because I knew spines was a big issue. And then somebody messaged going, well, you can do spines. Can you do me a cover? I said, well, I don't know. We'll look into it. And then we did him a cover. And then the next request was going, look, do you do Blu-ray covers? And then we tested loads of paper, and then now we're doing Blu-ray covers. So it's been sort of a journey, and now we've got 3 different products that we make. So definitely worth thinking about. Definitely.
I think for some people, the obviously the process of putting the sticker onto the steelbook can be a little fiddly when you first start. I know AJ and yourself have done videos sort of showing the process. I haven't done that myself because I don't really have the tripod or anything like that, but I can see the appeal of the magnets, because it's just literally you're just putting it straight over the top of the steelbook. And I guess if people in the future they want to sell the steelbook as it was originally intended, it's not a big issue, is it? You take the magnet off, you either keep it or you sell it with the magnet, etc. So again, I think it's a great sideline product to the sticker if you're not really that confident in trying to get it lined up and creases and all this sort of thing. But I mean, what's your experience of the process, AJ? Because you've recorded doing this, haven't you?
Yeah, I think the stickers, you just need patience. You need, patience in the lining up. Yeah, that's where it all comes down to. You can't rush it. You just got to, do you know what I mean? You got to go through the process of ensuring all 4 corners are straight before you stick down the top bit. What I do like is it's quite a porous paper that you're using. What I mean is that even if you get the odd bubbles, they just push out. They just, do you know what I mean? They come out really easy. It isn't one of those situations where you cause a crease or anything like that. So that side of it doesn't worry me whatsoever with the bubbling or any tiny bubbles, air bubbles that caught under. But you need patience, because it's kind of like a one-time deal. Do you know what I mean? If you've just stuck down maybe a centimetre at the top, you can get away with repeeling it off. But so patience is the key to that. Make sure that it's lined up before you go down. But it's pretty easy. It's easy. Yeah, it's easy.
It's probably the most popular product is the stickers, more than the magnets. I think they are a little bit cheaper because the magnet paper costs a little bit more. But it is popular. I get Hannah to do all mine because I have not got a steady hand. I'm not very good at stuff like that, so she would do all my stickers. But I think it is it is easier than you think. But yeah, you need to just as soon as you've got it lined up, it's just pill, and it is quite easy to do. And if you want to take them off in the future, you can, and you won't ruin your steelbook. You just need to clean it up a little bit. Like there'll be some sticker residue on it, but you could just clean it up with a hand gel and a sponge or something, and the artwork will still be intact on the actual steelbook. I find that a lot of people do just keep the stickers on. I've not known anyone yet to take the stickers off, but we'll see.
No, I mean, I've found, obviously you've done my James Bond collection so far, and again, I've always found it quite frustrating with the Bond series that they've never done the original posters, which I think all James Bond fans love. You know, I mean, okay, obviously with the Daniel Craig era, they've sort of moved away from that sort of style, but certainly for the Sean Connery era and the
just ignore me if I come up again, Matt.
Yeah. Wonder what that was. I'm thinking, hang on. 2 people here. Yeah, the Sean Connery ones you did for me recently, and obviously you know, I grew up with Roger Moore, so I love the Roger Moore films. Timothy Dalton, not so much Pierce Brosnan for me, but I'm sure there's a lot of Bond collectors out there for Brosnan. So I think, you know, I would highly recommend, if you are a James Bond fan watching and you really love those sort of posters from the, you know, the sort of bygone years, sort of reach out to Josh and be able to design some great stickers for your collection.
That's what I mean. We keep a lot of files as well. So if you see files, if you see covers on either one of your videos of people watching, then just message me, and it's likely that I've still got. I try and keep everything. I had an issue a few months ago where I had it on a hard drive, and the hard drive just decided to give up, and I lost thousands of artwork. But we've started to get a lot of it back and saved it a lot better now. But yeah, a lot of the time people will see stuff on either one of your channels and go, "Oh, I like that. Can I have that? And can I just tweak this or something?" So yeah, we've always got files, always ready.
We've got a subscriber to the channel, John Robinson.
Oh yeah, he's a regular. Yeah,
currently have his 3rd order with you. So nice. Happy New Year, John. We did meet John last year, didn't we, AJ, in Milton Keynes?
Oh, we did, yes, at the Comic-Con.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Nice guy.
Yeah, no, he's a great customer, definitely. He orders some great covers. Again, covers are different to people's as well.
Do you design your own? Do you design your own images? In the sense that if I said to you, you know, can you produce an image that's akin to this?
I could try. I haven't designed a lot of my own stuff. I mean, I could try, and sometimes I find AI can help a little bit, even if I have to tweak what AI gives me.
What I'm saying is for the latter 2 Mission Impossible films, so that they match the existing steelbooks sort of thing.
Definitely look into it. I mean, if I have all the elements, I could probably say, like, I could take Mission Impossible Fallout and I can edit the title out and put the title in, but leave the Mission Impossible bit. If I've got a clear picture of Tom Cruise, I can put him in there, that kind of thing. I could probably put stuff together, which I've done. I think I've done a few for the Transformers series, because I think one of them, like Rise of the Beast or something, didn't have steelbook artwork like all the others, so I had to completely make one from scratch. So possibly, if I'd have to look at it, see if I've got all the elements to make it, and then probably could do that. But no, I've noticed that Mission Impossible, especially the last one, I was not a fan of that artwork at all. Definitely.
The last 2 have been pretty
poor.
We've got my mate Scott.
Yes,
I think he's a regular customer of yours as well.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Scott.
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah, one thing I would just moving on from what you're saying about artwork and stuff, I have mentioned to you in a message, Josh. There's a YouTube guy that I follow. He's based in America. And I think I sort of was following him before I found yourself, because he's got an Etsy store. We did have an Etsy store.
I think I've been on it before. I think
Blockbuster bot sets.
I don't think I've ordered. I've seen him.
No. Well, he's producing some great boxes that you can put your editions into. Unfortunately for us in the UK, because of the shipping cost, it's kind of prices you out of the market for that, unless obviously you're prepared to pay the large sort of import, and all this sort of stuff. But like I say, I wondered whether that's something maybe you could, if you got the ability to do that, that might be another avenue for you, because again, I think people quite like the idea of sort of having, like you say, they do produce these steelbook sets, but again, with steelbooks, and as we know, they can dent and all this sort of stuff. And not everybody wants steelbooks. Sometimes they like these boxes. And is that something that you may consider in the future?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, a lot of people have asked about, are they slip covers that Blu-rays go into and steelbooks go into, like the cardboard stuff? Yeah,
like
there's definitely something. Because I was ordering them from a UK guy, but he's gone off the grid now. So it's something I could look into. It's again seeing what our printer can do and whether it's worth, because obviously you've got to see if it's worth investing in a new printer and paying, because I think our printer is quite expensive, is whether we want to pay hundreds and hundreds and then get the odd customer here and there. Or it's one of those risks at the moment. We make money, but obviously we're not a huge, massive company.
No.
But it's something we're looking into everything. Any suggestions we will look into, because again, that's we've grown anyway. We were a spine company getting maybe one order every 2 weeks for the first month, and then as soon as we put covers on there, it just blew up. It went crazy. So it's definitely something. I saw your message about that. I'd have to do a lot of research into it, but ideas always open to. Definitely.
I mean, I know you've got the retailer Hobbycraft, which they may produce sort of blank boxes for this kind of thing. I don't know, like you say, or whether it's something you'd have to build to be able to house the sort of size of, Blu-ray and 4K cases. And like you say, you've got to determine whether it's a viable. I'm sure there's a market for it, but whether there's a big enough market for it for you to invest in it.
Yeah, I'll go off requests. Like I said, magnets, when I started getting requests nearly every week, then I was like, right, we need to start moving on to magnets. So the more requests I get, the more I think about it. But all ideas are great. So I'll definitely consider everything. 100%.
Yeah, John says he'd certainly be interested in slip boxes for his DC collection.
I've heard
they didn't do slips.
Okay. No, it's good to know. Definitely.
Again, the custom slip covers, I think, are quite popular because, again, you don't always get that uniformity throughout a franchise. And again, like with the spines, they don't always line up on the shelf, which, again, for some of us, it's not a big deal. But I guess if you're offering that service at the point of creating a slip cover for somebody, it's nice to have that sort of
100%
uniformity, isn't it?
Like we said earlier, everyone wants different things for that. Everyone's got their own idea what they want for their collection. It makes sense. I definitely will have a think. Definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, perfect.
You got any questions you'd like to ask Josh, AJ?
Yeah, where's my order? No, I'm only joking.
Well, yesterday's order. We get that lot of people. Unfortunately.
At the moment, I wish I did, but my head's just banging.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel you need to drop off, AJ, don't.
No,
if you're not feeling great, don't make it worse. I mean, Josh was saying, I don't know whether you saw any of the early part of the stream, but he was saying that he's you've got a disabled son, which obviously takes up a lot of your time.
Yep.
So obviously, yeah, family first, but this is kind of his main focus is the still verse. Obviously, with his wife sort of collaborating, because she does a lot of the design stuff and cutting and all this sort of stuff, doesn't she?
Yeah. So she's I'm not very good at cutting. I've got my thumb broke years ago. It's bent out of shape. So she does all the cutting. She's always had a careful hand. She's always done creative stuff. Like when we started the business, we already had a lot of the products because she's constantly making things anyway. So she does the editing, self-taught. We literally learned for this business on how to do things. So I will gather all the files for her. I'll do all the communication, social media, all the ideas as well, and I'll ask her to then put them all into a template and edit bits out for people. So we work quite closely together in that. Without her, I couldn't do it, and without me, we can have a business. So yeah, definitely a joint effort. Definitely.
Oh, that's good. Right.
So what's your genres? What's your favourite genres, Josh?
It does vary. I mean, I do like them. Obviously, I like the Marvel films quite a bit. Not all of them lately, anyway, but I do like most of them. I do like some of the artsy films that come out as well. I'm very mixed. Horror, I don't lean into too much, really. The only horror that I will probably watch is Scream, that's the only
Scream
one that I will watch. Yeah, I've got all the Scream films. I'll see the next one, but I just don't really care for horror that much, really. I don't really. Some of the old classics are good, but when you got like Halloween 8 or whatever it is, I drop off from all of that. And I think when you start learning how films are made, you don't get scared of anything. Like nothing scares you in horror films because you know everything that's coming.
No, I think it's the problem with horror, isn't it? It doesn't scare.
No.
But I think a lot of people are just, I don't know, they're like, they get their rocks off on the blood and gore.
Yeah.
That's what that seems to appeal to them, which I think me and Matt, we're not horror people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a few horror films in the franchise in my collection from sort of more so when I grew up. The Elm Streets and things like that. I can still enjoy, but they're not scary in any way, shape, or form. No. It's more not sort of nostalgia driven. But there's no appeal for horror really for me. Even the Scream franchise, I don't
that's the only one I could watch. But again, not scary or anything. I like the characters in it. I like the whole meta side of things with it. But other than that, I've got all the James Bond films as well. I like a lot of action films. All goes on mood most of the time. Depends what I want.
Yeah.
Really. Comedy would be like the early Adam Sandler days and Jim Carrey and Ben Stiller, stuff like that. It does. My collection is quite vast, but it's quite varied. I like a lot of old school stuff and gangster movies, and it's mostly from my dad's taste. My dad grew up with my dad watching Rambo and Die Hard and Bond and all like Scarface and stuff and Ghostbusters, and definitely matched that kind of taste. Definitely.
So you reach
you like? Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Matt.
No, say sci-fi. Do you like sci-fi?
Yeah, so I like. I've got some of the old Star Trek films. I've got trying to think of the Next Generation films as well. Star Wars, Back to the Future. I'm quite old school in my taste.
You sound aligned with what we collect.
Yeah, it is pretty much what you.
I quite like that. I mean, I quite like the supernatural horror stuff, like the Conjuring universe.
Yeah,
I've always quite enjoyed those. I'm more horror that it's what you don't see that scares me rather than what you do.
Yeah, I see.
I'm not a big slasher. I can see, the slashers but certainly the Halloween are very, very popular in the community. You know, you've got a lot of big horror collectors in the community. Are you finding that you're getting quite a few orders for horror films?
Mostly old school ones. That's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I have one guy who orders Blu-ray covers, and he goes for the most obscure horror films. I couldn't even remember the names of. They're not mainstream. They're films that if I'm trying to look for images for, it's nearly impossible because they are so out there, like killer clown films and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think horror doesn't come up an awful lot. I think the ones that do the most are like James Bond. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the 90s ones, come up quite a bit. It's a lot of older films come up pre 2000. A lot of films, more films for that come up. They're films that don't have steelbooks as well. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got Namping Films, hi mate. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year.
Oh yeah.
He's fairly new to the community. He's been this last year.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're looking for covers, is it Angelo? I think it's Angelo. His name is. Yeah. Have a look at Josh's Etsy store. He does covers. Don't just do steelbooks. He does covers. You know, inlays for films. So if you want something custom, he can do that for you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, you were going to say something. You.
No, that moment's passed.
Oh, it's gone now. Yeah, cool. So, yeah,
I've got one of your magnets here, Josh.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Oh yeah, that's quite cool. That
considering the crap that the steelbook, the steelbook release of Predator Badlands is.
Yes,
that is ready for it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. But yeah, most of my films are pre-2000. A lot of them are. Or like one guy orders loads of 90s films that just haven't got any steelbooks for, and probably will never get steelbooks for. He orders a lot of covers for them. Even films like, what was it, like the dog one, Beethoven and stuff like that. They would never get steelbook, I don't think, or at least like the sequels will never get steelbooks. So he comes to me for that. Yeah, but yeah, and majority of the time it's old school ones, definitely.
So are you gonna do a YouTube channel?
That's the plan. Yeah, that is the plan. Only because I like talking about films as well, and I've got no one in my family that buys films. I've got one friend who does. Everyone thinks I'm nuts. They look at it and go, "Do you watch them? Like, do you actually watch these and stuff?" He's still collecting them, like it's a thing that you should only do when you're a child, which I always find obscure. Really, if people collect books, I think it's exactly the same kind of thing. But yeah, I want to.
It just goes to show how niche it's becoming. Really,
it's really niche. Yeah, exactly. Like don't know anyone my age that has got steelbooks or Blu-rays or anything. I just don't know anyone. So I want to talk about my films. I want to talk about covers that we make. I don't know how regular it'd be. I've got 3 kids under 5. It's a busy house. They're all upstairs at the minute. But it's trying to find that time. But yeah, I feel like I've built up a good audience now through the Steelverse as well. And a lot of people that watch your channels, I message regularly, talk to them quite a lot, and they order regularly as well. So I feel like I've always got a ready-made audience there. And I'll just see how it goes. I don't really put a lot of pressure on things. I'll just go, I'll see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if I enjoy it, I'll keep it going, sort of thing, really.
Yeah, Angelo's made a good point here. He says, I'm the same. None of my friends or family have any collection, just this community. Yeah. And that's the beauty of YouTube. It brings like-minded people together for whatever whatever they're interested in. Obviously, I met AJ when he first started his channel. I've done it a couple of months before. I'd watched YouTube for many, many years. Watched back in the sort of from about 2009 onwards. I mean, back then you would get a lot of views on videos, people showing their Blu-ray collections, steelbooks, because that all started in the sort of 2008 onwards kind of thing. AJ and myself, we've found now that if you're doing an unboxing video for a new title, that will be quite popular. Blu-ray hunts, they seem very popular.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. Yeah.
Steelbook collection videos or collection videos, they get views. But if you're just showing like editions from your collection, individuals, and I've done this, I tend to be a bit more focused on certain editions maybe than AJ. AJ does more collection videos, which have been quite popular, but I don't find I get many views on those sorts of videos. The ones that I'm getting the views on are the sort of chat videos where talking about, my latest one was to do with the 4K playback issues that people are experiencing. It does seem to be quite widespread. But these kind of sort of videos seem to be very popular. People want this sort of content where, it's issues that they're encountering with their equipment or whatever it is, or, there's all sorts of subjects that I've talked about, and, some of them do really well.
I'll dabble. Obviously, I've got the business side to talk about as well, and things, because I make a lot of stuff for myself as well, so I'll probably show quite a bit of that off, and just see how it goes. I mean, like I said to you earlier, before this, I said it's nice because you and AJ are really relaxed. Like when I first thought about doing YouTube, I thought it's got to be like done a certain way, and it needs to be flashy, and it needs to be this, and it needs to be that. But like you guys, it's just like a nice chat, really, and talking about what you love, and that's what was encouraging me to do it, definitely, and just to put a face to the business as well. I've only got my little face on Etsy, and this is the first time I've actually spoke to anyone properly.
It's nice to sort of talk to you in person. Because obviously we just communicated through the chat. But I think what people like is just being yourself. I mean, AJ and myself, we don't script our videos. I know there are YouTubers out there that do script, and I mean, I edit stuff because I find myself repeating myself, or I'll make a bit of a boo-boo on saying something. So I like to keep it as professional as I can, but I'm not going down the route of scripting it all out. I just don't have time or energy to do that. And I don't really think, although I think people who do script stuff probably do get good views on their videos because it comes across as a more professional sort of presentation. But like I say, for us collectors, that's not really the main focus. The main focus is talking about this hobby and what we collect, and this kind of thing.
I think if you're gonna script, I think you need to go in at the beginning. You need to start like that. Start as you need to go on kind of
people will pick up.
Because for argument's sake, if I started scripting now, it would be very apparent that I was. Because it wouldn't feel natural. The flow wouldn't be as natural as what it is. I think scripting does, if you're serious about it and you want to try and make something of it, I think scripting is, you should start scripting. You should start off with scripted content and all the edits and all that sort of flashy nonsense. Me, honestly, I'm too lazy to do that. I'll be honest. I can't be bothered because it is just a hobby channel. It's nothing more. There's no expectation of, well, I mean, there can't be any expectation of anything with the subject that we're talking about, because it's a niche subject that's in decline. You know what I mean? And there's so many other channels now doing it. So many of, even from when I started, there weren't as many, but now there seems to be more. And yeah, I think overall there is a decline. You do see it on people's channels as well. When you look at views that people were getting some, 2 years ago, 3 years ago compared to now, you see a sort of drop off on individual videos. Yeah, it's quite difficult, you know. It's not, you know, to get that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. And that's what the natural approach, definitely, I want to go. I mean, that's how I approach the business as well. I try and be as natural, and I try and make it too businessy, and I try and let people know that I do collect films as well. I'm not just a shop that's just making these covers for you. I actually do collect. Because, yeah, and I feel like, and through that, I have conversations with people all the time that are away from the business and talking about films that we enjoy and films that are coming out and stuff. And I've ended up having a lot of virtual friends through doing this. I'm not talking off a script or anything. I'm literally just chatting to them like a friend almost as well.
And I think
some people don't.
I think if you start your own channel, it will show your passion, and
that's true.
You know, that'll hopefully help your business as well, because people will see the passion that you have for films. I mean, obviously, before you joined AJ, Josh was saying that he used to work in a cinema, in like a single screen cinema. So he's been involved in all the process of putting the reels on the projector and all this sort of stuff. So he's got quite a lot of sort of background knowledge that we don't have. Well, I mean, we're just, you know, we just go out and buy these things and stick them in the player. But you've actually been there and been in the cinema and, you know, gone through all of that process. So it's, I think if you could bring that to your channel, it would certainly sort of show your passion for movies, and obviously, hopefully that will feed through to your business as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's the aim, because I've got all this knowledge, but I've got no one to talk to about it, really. Like, I've got one friend who collects, and I go to cinema with regularly, and then that's it. No one else has really got this same passion I've got for film. So yeah, definitely, that's the intention. And like the cinema, I could have about 10 videos on, because the cinema industry is harsh. It's quite harsh. They don't make barely any money, really. That's why the food's so expensive. But yeah,
I watched the channel. I mean, there's a big channel in America I watch, and all about the movie industry. And he did a video this morning about predictions for this year, and he actually predicts that there'll be a resurgence in cinema this year.
Possibly, yeah, especially for the
interesting
multiplex. Yeah, the independent. It was just really harsh. So I mean, obviously you got one screen, and if you wanted, let's say you wanted Spider-Man, the latest one, they will say to you, right, you can have Spider-Man, but you're in a 2-week contract, right? So you can't show anything else but Spider-Man, and you need to show it 5 times a day, and we'll take 60% off for the first 2 weeks of your ticket sales, and 60% of a one-screen cinema is hard, and then you lose a lot of people that don't watch Spider-Man, or say there'll be 2 films that come out, and you want both of them, but you can only have one of them. There's no like leeway or anything for these independent ones, and you can't get out of the contract. And at the same time, you don't show Spider-Man, you don't please your Spider-Man fans. So that's what we found. It was really, really tricky. Or you got one screen, they want it 5 times a day. You're open from like a silly time of like 9 in the morning till like 11 p.m. at night. So the independents suffer. There's not many around my area in Kent. I think there's a couple hanging in there, but I think they will always struggle, because you can only have 1 or 2 films at a time, and the contracts are really harsh to get out of. But multiplexes, they probably do well this year. Last year they were showing a lot of anniversary films quite a few times. So hopefully there'll be more films in the cinema this year than last.
So what films did you enjoy in 2025, Josh?
There wasn't an awful lot, really. The films I thought were okay. Like I saw Superman, which I thought was okay. I thought it was a bit silly at times. The dog, I know the dog's part of the comics, but I could have done without the dog.
Right.
he did well. The actor did well, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed 28 Years Later. I think that came out last January. I think I did enjoy that quite a bit.
Got the new one, haven't we? Bone Collector. Yeah, we'll come on to the
Yes.
films in a minute. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but I can't think of any standout films for me. I saw Avatar just before Christmas, the new Avatar, and I thought it was really good. I thought the story could have done better, but the visuals were incredible. I did enjoy that, but I feel like it was just not a very good year for film, really. I can't.
Wasn't the strongest.
No, there were good films or okay films, but I don't think there was anything that I could say that was.
Did you watch Jurassic Park Rebirth?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and because I'm a collector, I've got the steelbook, but I don't know when I'm going to rewatch that again. That was a big disappointment. That was a really big. Yeah, that's what I mean. There was a lot of sequel films this year and legacy films, but there was just nothing stands out. Nothing. How about yourselves? Was there anything that you saw that stood out for you?
I mean, for me, Predator: Badlands was.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that.
Cinema. Oh yeah. I went to see that in IMAX, 3D IMAX, and I really enjoyed it. I came out and for me, it just felt like a film of old, and I just had such a lot of fun. Yeah, probably not the best Predator film. That's, I mean, some would say Prey is probably a better film. You'd probably say that, would you, AJ? That Prey is the better film.
Yeah, I would put Prey above it, I think.
Yeah. Now, I just had a lot of fun with it. I just came out just feeling I've really been entertained. Okay, yeah, it's probably, it was a 12A, wasn't it? So it's, yeah, I mean, it's never going to be Predator, is it? But I had a lot of fun with it.
No, it's like I said, though, the 12A rating wasn't an issue. I didn't have issue with that, however. And you could tell that the narrative of the film was structured around a lower rating.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you take humans out of the fray and you're just saying these are, you got violence that is creature on creature, fantastical creature on fantastical creature, or fantastical creature on androids, because all the androids in it have got the same face. The mass ones. You lose that element of violence in the narrative of it, so you justify a lower age rating, so you can still have heads being ripped off of these androids, and it doesn't impact the rating of the film. So I can see exactly what they did there, because obviously it was a big budget film. There's special effects in every single scene of that movie. It's not without, obviously, got a Predator as the main protagonist with a CGI'd face. It's it's an enjoyable film, but I've struggled on a rewatch. I've struggled. I struggled getting through the opening 10-15 minutes of it now. So I've only really watched it once at the cinema.
Yeah.
Which ain't a good sign.
No.
That's why I didn't put it in my top 10.
No, I was surprised.
Had I not attempted a rewatch, it might have made it into my top 10 based upon that initial viewing of it. Do you know what I mean? But I couldn't justify putting it in because it doesn't seem to have a rewatchability factor for me.
No. I mean, strangely enough, that it was my number one film. Whereas for you, it wasn't even in your top 10. So that's interesting, isn't it? But the one I think I do need to watch, that was your top 10 film, and I don't know whether you've seen this, Josh, is The Life of Chuck. I've heard a lot of good things about this film.
Yeah,
so I do think it's one I need to watch, definitely.
Yeah, I need to watch that. Yeah, I've had a couple covers for that as well. So yeah, I definitely need to give that a watch. Yeah, there's a lot of films I missed. I didn't see was it One Battle After Another?
I've heard of that. Yeah, I did.
I like DiCaprio, but I saw the trailer, it didn't do anything for me, and then it got rave reviews, and my friend said it was one of the best films of the year, and I've missed out on it, so I need to watch that.
Yeah, I've not seen that myself, but DiCaprio's always reliable.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Definitely
got a good agent, and he makes good choices are always made.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's one film I wish I'd seen at the cinema. But I'll get to it. But no, it's just not been a great year. Just not been good at all. Hopefully this year should make up for it. Definitely.
But Life of Chuck that was my top film of the year. It was quite amazing. Yeah, I went into it watching, not expecting anything. I went into it on the back of it just being Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
And he's not even in it a lot, I'll be honest with you. He's about his character. The story's his character, but different aspects of his life, different, you know what I mean? But so he's only really in a small chunk of it. Because it's more a story of his life than the story of him. It's a pretty amazing film, to be honest.
Yeah, Sinners. I haven't seen Sinners.
No, I'm not either.
No,
I've heard good things about it.
I think the trailers didn't do a lot for some of the films. I just didn't. Some trailers just didn't do it for me, and then I've missed out. And then I hear they're great. So maybe I need to just trust my own judgment and not watch teasers for it. Maybe
you watched it, haven't you, AJ?
Sinners. Yeah, I was one of the people who you know, problem was I heard everyone say, oh, it's an original film. And I watched it and I was like, there's no originality in this movie whatsoever. It's a remake of From Dusk Till Dawn. It's taken the concept of From Dusk Till Dawn and done its own thing with it. Yeah. You know, it's two brothers that are criminals. There's a place in pretty much the middle of nowhere, you know, like a bar, club, pub, whatever you want to call it. Film starts off as one type of movie and then transitions to another halfway through. Vampires attacking this, you know, all around this club, whatever you want to call it. And the inevitable happens to one brother, as it does in From Dusk Till Dawn. There's just, I just didn't see no originality in the film whatsoever.
Okay.
Bit like Evil Dead Rise then.
Sorry?
Bit like Evil Dead Rise. Same thing.
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise was just a complete remake of another remake of Evil Dead. It was the same film. It was it's exactly the same film, just in a different setting.
Yeah,
beat for beat, same movie. I'm not saying that Sinners isn't a well-made film. It's well made. It looks good. It's got good acting in it. It's just I was sold on this originality of it, and then got no originality out of it. So there you go. That's my.
I guess if you're somebody who hasn't seen From Dusk Till Dawn, then you would think it's an original film.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's I mean, it might be that enough time's passed. What's the From Dusk Till Dawn? Mid-90s.
Yeah.
30 years. Enough time's probably passed that you can get away with it, but. Yeah, and you do get that. You do get that sort of rinse and repeat nature of films. You know, you got Kurt Russell with Breakdown, you know, and then obviously a couple of years ago, Gerard Butler done a version of the film, essentially exactly the same movie. He's on the road, his wife gets kidnapped, he has to go after his wife. It's pretty much the same film, so that you do get that. You do get that happen. But even this, like, you know, I just get the sense that even the makers of Sinners were sort of touting it as a original movie. They sort of jumped on that bandwagon themselves and
they're trying to promote it.
Followed suit, and it wasn't. It's like always From Dusk Till Dawn again.
Yeah. And another one which I watched, about the little girl who was the vampire in the house. What was that called?
Oh, was it Abigail or something like that?
Abigail, yeah. That kind of, I got Fright Night kind of vibe from that film.
Right, yeah.
That sort of thing. But again, that was very popular, wasn't it? A lot of people I didn't mind it. I mean, for me, again, not being a big horror fan, it was more of a one-time watch kind of scenario. You know, it's certainly not something I would collect, but I know there's a lot of people out there that would, you know, want to get that on Steelbook or 4K or whatever. So
the thing is, you could argue that originality is dead. It is really. Do you know what I mean? And So I had someone said to me, "Oh look, here's Sinners. Go watch it. It's Light from Dusk Till Dawn." All right. I might have thought more of it, but when it's being sold to me on the back of originality, and then I watch it expecting originality and get none from it whatsoever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got my backup.
Yeah, and obviously there are 3 Marvel films last year as well. Was it Thunderbolts and
Captain America?
Yeah, and Fantastic Four. Yeah, I enjoyed Thunderbolts. I think it would have been better if it was a 15 and they went for it a little bit more. Went for the hype a bit more.
I think it was the strongest out of the 3.
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah, I did enjoy Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's grown on me a bit.
This feels like it's setting up another film. That's all it feels like. But yeah, and then obviously Mission Impossible as well.
That was a bit of a letdown, though.
Yeah, I found that.
It was because again, that's another one I tried to rewatch.
Right,
and switched it off on a rewatch. I was getting quite bored with it.
Yeah, and
it just didn't have. I thought the last one, Dead Reckoning Part 1, or Dead Reckoning as it's now called.
Oh yeah,
that was really good. I thought that was like top tier Mission Impossible, and then this one came, and it's sort of like, if I was to do a ranking, I'd probably put that on the lower side of Mission Impossible films.
Yeah, they just kept trying to flash back to the first film quite a bit, and then they brought in the random guy that was in the first film that was with the
knife.
Yeah, they brought him back, and I thought, well, out of all the people you want to bring back, you brought him back, and then they have to explain it to the audience who he is, and we're like, well, if you've been watching these for 20, 30 odd years, you know everything.
I think the problem is they're quite because I mean, I've recently rewatched all of Mission Impossible films at the time of Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah.
And they're quite complex movies in a sense, in they're not just standard ABC kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
You really got to concentrate, and so even me watching it, having seen them, within the last couple of years, I was still like, "Who's that? Who's that? Oh, that's who he is." They had to tell me. I think that's the case with most audience for it, unless you're a mismatched big fan. It's your favorite franchise, and you give them on a rewatch quite often.
Yeah, true. I think the most annoying thing was that on Steelbook it's Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then they go and change the film just to Final Reckoning. So then you got that stupid Part 1 on your Steelbook. So I've ended up changing all my spines now. But that silly little things like that frustrate me. So you either commit to it or you release all the Steelbooks and get rid of Part 1 on it. Like it's things like that. But
I'm sure get rid of Part 1 on any other future re-releases.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, but no, I think 28 years later, I enjoyed.
I can understand their logic in what they did, the changing. Because
I know why they changed it. I just wish they.
Yeah, Dead Reckoning Part 1 didn't gross what the previous couple of Mission Impossibles did.
Yeah,
it was more of a failure for them than recent ones. So to come on the back of that with Part 2, you want to try and regain that audience. So you change the name. You don't have the Part 2.
Yeah.
So I get what they've done and why they did it. But there we go.
Yeah.
So what are we looking forward to this year? I know you said 28 years later you enjoyed Josh. I think next week is the Bone Temple. I think that's about the 9th of January. I think that comes out.
I think so. I've actually seen three films this week, but not the greatest. I saw Wicked 2 because my sister dragged me to see that. Not my cup of tea, but I saw that. I saw a film 2 nights ago, Marty Supreme, I think it's called. It's got it's a bit of an arty film, but I quite enjoyed that.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, it's definitely an Oscar contender for him. That was a really good film. But it's 2.5 hours, and it was quite long.
Wow.
And then I'm rewatching Avatar tonight as well, doing it again with someone else. And then Bone Temple will be the next one. But I think that this is going to be a really good year for film in a long time, definitely. Doomsday, I look forward to that. Spider-Man as well. Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. I look forward to that. Peaky Blinders film. Yeah, there's quite a lot. I might even have to get a cinema membership at this rate because I'm going to go quite often, I think, this year.
Yeah. I think with the Odyssey, I know you said you've not really been that wowed by that one yet, AJ, but I guess it is only a teaser. I think once we get, because generally when we get the Super Bowl, the American Super Bowl in February, you tend to get most of the trailers. I'm hoping that, because my take on it is, well, it's a fable, isn't it? The Odyssey.
It's Homer's Odyssey, isn't it?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Is it based around Homer's Odyssey?
Yeah, so similar to Troy.
Fable, I think. I'm sure.
Homer's Odyssey is what I
believe.
But obviously it's going to have a kind of Clash of the Titans feel to it with the, mythical creatures. And that's what really sort of excites me, because it's I hope they go down the route of the Ray Harryhausen and not make it look too digital. I don't know. I mean, obviously you got Christopher Nolan at the helm of it, so it's going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's one thing you can guarantee. And the cast is great as well. Like, the cast is a massive cast of talent. And he really cares for film. I think it'd be one of them to watch in IMAX. I think definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all his films.
My most anticipated film, I think. A little bit above Doomsday. I think Doomsday. And again, I heard another prediction this morning from that same channel. One of the guys on there, he said, now 2 weeks ago, he'd have said, if I'd have said this, I would have thought I was a crazy man, he said. But he reckons that Doomsday will be the biggest film of all time this year, because what Marvel is doing is they're feeding into nostalgia. So they're bringing back Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
You're bringing back, all of those sort of characters. Yeah. It's almost going to be kind of, let's ignore what's happened in the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah. We're going from Endgame, which ended on the high, and it's feeding into that nostalgia. Now, whether that's true, I don't know, but time will tell whether it's going to be, a big hit for them. It needs to be, because I think if it isn't, I think it's time for Marvel to kind of put it to bed.
They're only ignoring narratively, in the sense that stuff that the past 4 years did happen. It's not like they're saying that stuff didn't happen.
No,
they're not. You're still going to see these characters in Secret Wars, in some of them in Doomsday, that you've had. You can't outright ignore. Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is, like, Anthony Mackie's going to be Captain America.
Yeah,
things like that. Yeah. What they're doing is they're re-releasing Endgame back in cinemas later this year. Now, there are rumours that there's going to be an end credit sequence tacked on to Endgame, which kind of makes sense, which shows Steve Rogers returning the Infinity Stones.
Okay.
Put this all under though. Then they got there's going to be an end sequence showing him returning Infinity Stones, and it's the return of one of the Infinity Stones that opens up the door for Doomsday.
Right.
Okay.
Or something like that. So in that sense, where they said that Doomsday is essentially a sequel to Endgame, while ignoring everything else, that's what they're sort of talking about, is that it will run off the back of that, with those events, and that's what's created this event.
Yeah, it's creating an alternate timeline, do you think? Or
I don't know, really. I don't know how they're going to what it's going to be, but that's like I said, put it under rumor. But it kind of makes sense.
Especially as they're going to re-release Endgame in the theatres, aren't they? In the cinemas.
Yeah, and if you're adding a new bit to it, then you're going to get the audience. You're going to start getting audience back in just to see that.
Yeah. Clever.
Yeah, and then obviously that could potentially push Endgame to the biggest film of all time again over Avatar, because they done a release of that, which is a bit silly that you re-release the film and it makes more money. You go, well, now that's the biggest film of all. No, this is, let's re-release that again. You know what I mean? It's a bit sort of gameplay thing, but it's Disney now, isn't it? They kind of make sense, you know what I mean? To get the audience back in for Endgame, because it's one of the biggest films of all time, get them hyped for what's coming, because you've added this mini film at the end, so to speak. You know, it could be 5 minutes or 6 minutes of Steve Rogers doing that. So that's the rumours that I've heard. But at the moment, it is all rumour. There's going to be so many now, because these channels. The problem is a lot of these channels thrive on it.
Well,
They know
that a lot of these channels that just sit around making this crap up.
Yeah, I know.
Just for clicks, they do.
Yeah, and obviously you've got Spider-Man. I think that's June or July, I think. And I think that would do really well because of, again, the hype of Doomsday as well. People will go and see Spider-Man in order for bits and pieces to connect to Doomsday, I think. So I think Spider-Man will be a big film, I think.
Yeah.
And that's just rumour all the time.
Yeah. You got the Punisher coming out as well, obviously, with in the Spider-Man film, which obviously is welcome. Obviously, AJ's favourite character. Although not probably your favourite version of the Punisher. Obviously, Thomas Jane, holds that.
Very good.
Would it be nice if we got Thomas Jane back in? Although he's probably a bit old now, isn't he?
It would be, but he's recently gone on record to say that he was miscast as a character.
Was he?
Yeah, he was saying that he was he says himself he was miscast as it, and blah blah blah. I don't know whether he would come back now. I think he was kind of burnt, which is such a shame, because he was very good in it. I wouldn't say he was miscast. He was a good version. You got Dolph Lundgren, who kind of reflects the 80s version of the Punisher and what the comics were. Thomas Jane, the comics were very much based upon Garth Ennis's earliest run of comics, where it was very Looney Toony-esque kind of violence, because it was still within the Marvel framework, the standard Marvel comic framework. And then Warzone is very reflective of what Garth Ennis done as a writer after that, when the shackles were taken off as it was. It was like, do what you want with the Punisher. It's an adult comic. It's going to be marketed as an adult comic, so you can have violence, you can have nudity, you can have swearing, all that in it. Do you know what I mean? So Thomas Jane was a good representation of that era. I think John Bernthald's very bruiserish. He plays it too much like a bruiser for my taste of the character, and that's not potentially what the character really is. If you're not a Punisher fan, aware of the comic and read it for bloody 40 years, then I can see why you might like Bernthal, because with Bernthal you do get the violence and the blood and all that. Do you know what I mean? But obviously that's going to be toned down in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they'll tone it down?
Yeah.
There's certain, they could go, whether they go with because again, it's all rumor based. Everyone's doing rumors just for the sake of rumors to get clicks. There's all the stuff about him being in the War Machine suit, him getting a hold of the War Machine suit, which I could see him doing. It is from the comics. There was a storyline where Punisher had got hold of the War Machine armor and utilized it for his own ends. But we'll just have to see how they go with it.
Yeah, they're doing like a mini short film, aren't they, as well, with Punisher?
So that would be violent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Yeah,
it'll be interesting seeing that going into the Spider-Man film. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got to have to dial it up for that, and then they have to dial it back for Spider-Man. But it's good because Punisher is a Spider-Man. It started life as a Spider-Man character.
Yeah,
his first appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man 129. He was an antagonist for Spider-Man, and and he was one of those characters essentially created as a villain piece, and then they thought, okay, an anti-hero would be good. Let's turn him into an anti-hero. It was that kind of
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see their take on it. But I'm looking forward to the film for that reason. Not so much Tom Holland, because Tom Holland kind of bores me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. With Doomsday, also, I'm looking forward to seeing the X-Men back as well.
Yes.
It's probably going to be the last
yeah.
one. I can't imagine we'll be seeing them.
Yeah, that was the other thing this guy said. Hopefully they'll be giving people what the Cyclops that they want. So literally, because I don't know whether you've seen the leaked trailer, but there's this leaked trailer where he pulls off the visor and this beam of lights.
Yeah.
He's wearing the sort of comic book outfit.
The blue with the circular. And
the
very 90s look. I think. Sorry, dog's trying to get in. One of the dogs trying to get in the room. Because we had this conversation, Matt, because you said you thought it was funny that they went with Stewart and McKellen rather than Fassbender and McAvoy. And like you just said, Josh, these films are their last chance to give fans what they want, because after Secret Wars, you're going to be done with the whole multiverse. The whole multiverse thing has been a failure for Marvel. It hasn't been a hit. Marvel's going to put that to bed. That's all been all going to go. So these are their last opportunities to play on nostalgia, to give fans what they want in that sense. And obviously, I think we're pretty lucky that we've still got both Patrick Stewart and McKellen with us.
Yeah.
They're not young men.
They're in their 80s, aren't they?
Yeah, so it makes more sense to utilize them in this film while you've still got them, rather than wait for Secret Wars, because you could see their demise in this film in Doomsday, and then come Secret Wars, you could see McKellen, you could see the younger variants. Yeah, I mean, you could do that sort of thing.
McAvoy.
So
I'd like to see them again, because I like the sort of, well, I don't know, it's a sort of sequel trilogy, I guess, but kind of is a prequel because it's set in the past, 60s, 70s, and 80s, wasn't it?
I feel for me, just Dark Phoenix, though, I feel like the way they didn't even bother aging the characters a little bit, I think it frustrated me. I think
it jumped about 10 years with each film.
Not even a bit grey in the hair or anything, nothing. They just didn't bother, and I feel like that for their last performance, I don't feel like it was a great send off for them, for Dark Phoenix.
It fell into the same trap as the third X-Men film of the original trilogy, didn't it? It fell into that same trap again.
Yeah.
Well, how they managed to screw up the Phoenix storyline twice is...
Well, it was the same writer twice, wasn't it? I think it was the same
person.
That's
quite amazing, really. Because that's a big event in the comic books, man. Is a... You know what I mean? That's... that's your end game, kind of one of your end game stories for X-Men sort of thing. That'd be an Avengers level kind of film, and they screwed it up twice.
Third time lucky then, because I'm sure they'll revisit it once again, won't they?
Yeah,
but under Marvel, obviously, MCU status this time round.
Yeah.
Jamie Powell, thanks for watching, mate. He says Happy New Year, and he's got a good question. He says, what animated film would you like to see remade into live action? I would love to see a Polar Express remake. I mean, I'm not a big animated person, but what would you like to see, AJ? I know you probably watch more animation than I do.
Well, mine would be, it's not so much animated film, it's more, I would cite TV animation that I would like to see live action version. Thundercats.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Mask from back in the 80s, Mobile Armored Strike Command, with their transforming vehicles and their, let's say transforming vehicles. You've got like a bike that turns into a helicopter, a car with gull wings that can fly. jet that turns into a helicopter, and you got the heroes and villains who wear these masks that give them sort of powers. So it'd be more, not so much an animated film, but more animation on TV. You know, that sort of era, and that's why I'm looking forward to Masters of the Universe. You know, that era, the 80s era of animation, is so rich with stuff that is still, a lot of it is still untouched. So I'd have to go with that sort of stuff. Thundercats, Mask. Problem with Thundercats is getting the movie Cats out of your mind. Because they done Cats and it wasn't very good. But yeah, that'd be I'd go with that.
Okay. I'll probably go with the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant that came out. Yeah, I think that one would do well on screen, I think. Yeah, I'm not normally a big fan of animated to live action because I feel like it's the same.
Me neither.
But I'll say Iron Giant could be a good one, definitely.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think I'd like to see another one. I'd like to see Battle of the Planets. Do you remember that back in the 80s? That was early days of manga, I think. I always loved that TV. Yeah, I'd like to see that Battle of the Planets. That'd be great. One battle after another, and Sinners were excellent, I thought. Again, I've not seen either, so I can't really comment.
No, same. No, I will give them both a watch soon, I think. Definitely. But no, yeah, this year is going to be a very, very big year. I don't know what the next year is looking like, but this year is going to be, I think, nearly every 1 or 2 months there's a film that I'll probably go and see, I think. I know we touched on Superman earlier on. Do you like the look of the new Supergirl film, Josh? I like the look of it, but I think because it's going to be a 12 or 12A, I just think they're not going to push the limits. I think if they want to push it a little bit more, they should do a 15. But I feel like DC especially are still afraid to do 15 films, I think.
I prefer a darker tone. I mean, I like the Snyderverse, and about a month ago, obviously we've got the taking over of Warner Brothers again. That's going to be a big thing. Paramount still putting in hostile bids and all this, but it looks like Netflix is going to be taking them over. And there's all these rumors about Snyder's coming back and all this. Highly unlikely. I'd love to see it, but realistically, I think the gun universe seems to be popular. People like this Superman, and I watched your video yesterday, AJ, and you've kind of said that people have had enough of the dark stuff. They want a Superman that brings them hope.
I was saying that's what I hope that because I don't understand the appeal for this Superman film. I don't get it. I'm missing something that other people are getting out of it.
So am I. Yeah.
Saying is it that it's more of a hopeful character, hopeful take on it that we haven't had for a while, and I'm hoping
certainly
that
lighter, isn't it?
It's
a lighter
obviously
take on it.
Yeah, the Snyder stuff. I don't think there's any going back to Snyder because the problem is you're saying you've been defeated yet again.
Yeah.
And you've got to go back to what was before, and I don't think they'll do that. So, I did watch that video where they were saying that if Netflix does get a hold of it, and this makes perfect sense, is that even if James Gunn goes, they would still utilize this universe, these characters with actors, but then they would start to twist it. They would start to turn it a bit darker. Take away a lot of the stupidness that James Gunn is introducing and sort of out of it, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I think if Snyder has a chance, I think he would do it. They should just do like an animated film or an animated series. I don't think
to finish off that, just to finish off the final part of Justice. Well, there's 2 more parts, aren't there? If they could do an animated, I'd still take that over nothing. That would be quite good.
Yeah.
But I must admit, having listened to what you said, and again, I guess because you've read the comics, AJ, you've got a bit more background to it than I have. I was a bit critical of Supergirl at the end of Superman coming in drunk and all the rest of it, but you made some good points saying about the fact that she is grown up. Well, she was a teenager and she saw the destruction of her planet and how that's affected her psychologically, whereas Superman didn't have that. And thinking about that, actually, yeah, that makes me actually more interested in Supergirl now, more than the Superman film, because it gives us different perspective on things, doesn't it?
Yeah. So to be clear, I mean, Supergirl. This Supergirl film is based. It takes its basis on a graphic novel from not too long ago called Woman of Tomorrow, which so this isn't every variation of Supergirl is like this. They're going to this one graphic novel that told this story of Supergirl where, they made it a bit more. She's a teenager when Krypton gets destroyed, and obviously you have Argo City and all that. So she witnesses what happens. She's seen the destruction of Krypton. Superman's unaware of it. He's a baby. He's stuck in a pod and blown off to space. Do you know what I mean? He comes to Earth as a baby, and then he's raised with the Kents, and then later on finds out his heritage. So he hasn't got that trauma. He hasn't witnessed that trauma. But Supergirl, the character of Supergirl, Okara, has. So this iteration, she's dealing with that trauma, and she's turned to drink to as a way of
blocked it out.
Coping. And that's what so it's not just the case that she's a party girl and she likes to drink. There's underlying pain to the character as to why she's the way she is, and it's a different take on it, and I'm all for that.
I guess again, probably I'm the majority of people that probably don't know the backstory to it, whereas because you've read the comics, you've got that insight into it. So I've seen it from a different perspective, but now obviously listening to what you've said, it does make more sense to me, and maybe Supergirl may be a little bit darker than the Superman film. This certainly I got a very much of a Guardians of the Galaxy feel about it, I guess, because it's set off world, off in Alien Planet or wherever it is. But strange enough, James Gunn's not directing it, so
no.
It'd be interesting.
The other good thing about setting it off world, and because obviously she goes out there and she travels to places with red suns. That's the story for her in this, because Red Sun depowers her. Now, one of the issues I had with Superman, the movie itself, the new one, is that you've got Superman who's as powered as he is. He's and one of the hardest things to write for Superman is villains, because you've got this character so overpowered. They're so difficult to write for such a thing. Hulk has the same problem, things like that in the comics. Such an overpowered character, nothing's really a threat to him. But in Superman, the film, they introduced all these other characters like they did, and realistically, they feel like they've got the same power level sets as Superman. They're doing the same thing. So you've taken Super away from Superman. Now in Supergirl, you've already set up a reasoning for this, and that is that she's away from Earth, right? So she's depowered. She hasn't got that power set that Superman has got, on the Earth, because she's away from the yellow sun. So you've got a reasoning for other people around her being more so or leveled with her. Do you know what I mean? But you lose that in Superman. And the other bit, when he's just to mention Superman again, when he's sat there in his in his flat, and you've got that fight going on outside the window.
Oh yeah.
Where you see the Justice and they're fighting that interdimensional imp thing, and he's just sat there letting it happen. This is Superman we're talking about. He should be thinking, there could be he should have. There could be casualties occurring. There could be people on the ground getting killed. You know, he doesn't know, and he's just sat there. Oh, they're dealing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was
That's
just
not
Don't forget,
there
he
was the
saved
dog.
the squirrel.
Yeah, the squirrel. Yeah, at least he saved
The squirrel.
And the dog to me
It
was
could
just
have been squirrels getting hurt at that point. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, all the birds and stuff. Yeah, and the dog. I know he's in the comics. He should have been in it, but not the whole film. I felt like that Lex was giving like a speech at the end or something, and the dog just jumps at him, and it just took me out of the movie quite a bit. That's the only thing.
I think cynically speaking, the crypto stuff is to get people to go and see Supergirl.
Yeah,
I know. But as soon as I saw the trailer of Supergirl, I just went,
let's follow the dog. Let's follow the
dog.
Oh,
dear. Okay.
Well, people love animals, don't they? I mean, again, you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, and you know, Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon.
You know, the last one. You know, I thought that was better than the second film.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because of him, because of his character arc in it. You know, I've always liked that character, but he is very good at that, Gunn, tapping into that emotional stuff to do with animals. That people will gravitate to that because they love, they love dogs, they love cats, and all the rest of it. But yeah, whether we'll see a lot of crypto in Supergirl, I don't know, but I guess the thing with Supergirl as well is, I mean, we remember that Supergirl film from, the 80s. It wasn't very good, was it?
No.
It could have been so much better if they'd have not gone with the sort of
they had a lot of production issues and stuff.
The witches stuff and all that, but they've now got the potential to create a really good Supergirl film. Whereas we're always going to compare Superman to Christopher Reeve, aren't we? We're always, our age group is definitely going to do that. I mean, I thought Cavill was great. He was a great Superman, but his Clark Kent was just Superman as Clark Kent.
Yeah.
It was fine, but Christopher Reeve, he nailed it. There was a difference between Clark Kent and, it's perfect. And it'll never, ever be matched. No. I don't feel, yeah. So, but Supergirl, I'm more. Now you've got to mention what you did about it, about the psychological side of what she's going through. It, it's more intriguing to me now. Definitely.
I mean, I've got to take my hats off to DC for doing that, because Marvel was scared to do it, and Marvel didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because Iron Man 2, in the comics, Tony Stark was an alcoholic. He resorted to alcohol, and Iron Man 2, the film, touches upon that storyline, but it's not the alcohol. They twisted it into the narrative of the blood poisoning thing from the arm reactor that they did, rather than going down the alcoholic route. So Supergirl, but it's like I said, the you wouldn't get it from the trailer for Supergirl, but I'm hoping that they do touch upon some sort of themes of mature themes within the story, in regards to the alcohol side of it, and that the why, and her overcoming that. That's got to be a journey. Is overcoming and the acceptance of of what's happening and finding herself. By the end of it.
I definitely think DC works with that darker tone. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Batman. Have they cast Batman now?
They haven't cast anyone yet. No, I think they're still wondering what to do with it. Because obviously, he's still got Patterson's Batman, who's still going to be ongoing as well.
Yeah, we've got Batman 2. That's 2027, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, if it doesn't move again, it keeps moving. But it's meant to come out this year, I think, but it keeps moving.
Cancel it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one, but I couldn't rewatch it on my telly. It was so dark. The film was so dark. I was turning up my bright.
I've never rewatched it yet, but
it's long as well. But he's gonna.
I hated the film.
You hated it. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. No, but he's going to have 2 Batman films from Warner Brothers. He won't be able to release them at the same time. He's going to have to keep because people are just going to be confused. People are going to go and see Patterson thinking he's going to be involved in this new DC.
But we've also got Clayface as well, haven't we? Is that
Yeah,
September, October? Again, that's kind of going to be opening up the world of Gotham, because obviously that's a Batman
monsters
character, but it's going to be a bit odd not having Batman in it. But again, you're probably more versed on the character, AJ, than I am.
Yeah, the character itself isn't it's one of those characters you can do a lot with and do your own thing with, so to speak. You know, it can be, it could be, yeah, it could be very good what they do.
Yeah, and I think they're starting on Superman 2 soon. They've already started releasing some bits of that, of who's going to. It could be good, but they need to just stick with it now, and they can't be doing any changes, because that was the problem with Aquaman 2 and the Flash and stuff like that. Nobody would want to see him anyway, because
I enjoyed the Flash. I thought it was all right.
I didn't mind it, but it just didn't make any money because they all knew it was going to be pointless. Really, it's not going to mean anything to the.
It was nice to see George Clooney, wasn't it, at the end?
See, now the Flash could have been. Flash could have been clever. Now, the funny thing about the Flash is it took so long for us to get right. I can tell you now that when the Flash film was announced, about a week after the Flash TV series begun.
Right, yeah.
A couple of weeks after, that was its first announcement that we got doing the Flash film. And because I remember thinking, well, that's a bit weird, because you're just starting this TV show of it.
Yeah.
And you're doing a cinematic film to go up against a TV show you're just beginning. And then the Flash TV show lasted for 9 seasons, I think it was. If I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 seasons. So you got 8 or 9 years of it, and you still hadn't had a Flash movie.
Yeah.
You know, that shows how long it was in sort of development hell. The Flash could have been very clever in that I always believe that it should have been the final film released.
Yeah, and they should have done like a reset in the film.
Yeah, in the DC universe. Yeah. And it was used as that, because he did essentially get a reset at the end with George Clooney. It did hint upon that. And that's what you should have given. Had you not had the whole I forget his name now, the geezer who plays the Flash.
I think it was Ezra. Was it Ezra Miller?
You know?
Yeah.
Had you not had all the problems with him, you could have carried that character over as the Flash, because he weren't bad. He wasn't bad as the Flash. I'll give him his due. You could have carried him over into the new universe and had him as your sort of connection to the old. Yeah. You could have said, well, that stuff is still relevant.
Yeah.
And things are now changed. And this is the new universe because of the change and what he's done. So he's still got the memory of, which is essentially what Flashpoint, the comic was.
Yeah.
That's what Flashpoint, the comic served as. They could have done that. But then obviously I think Blue Beetle did come after Flash, and obviously Aquaman was the last film of theirs. They didn't even look at it from that perspective.
No, and I think James Gunn's hoping to use the same Blue Beetle, I think, or at least the same actor in his series. He's bringing Aquaman back as
Lobo.
Yeah,
Lobo,
so just create more confusion for regular audience. But
it'll be but Lobo's under heavy makeup, isn't he?
Yeah, so, I suppose. Yeah.
You know, Jason Momoa. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle guy, I don't think anyone cares. No. I'll be honest, whether he returns as that character or not.
I didn't mind Blue Beetle. I actually quite enjoyed that film.
Yeah.
I know it didn't do very well, but I just thought it was a fun film. I hadn't seen the characters before, and it wasn't great, but it was entertaining. I'll watch it again. I've got it.
I think the last night with Blue Beetle was that they were going to get that geezer to voice him in animation or something.
Okay.
Right.
So that was a sort of return of him, but I don't know what that will be in. You know.
Yeah. And either of you looking forward to June Part 3 or Messiah, as it's being called?
I don't know. I've seen June 2 yet, so I need to.
Have you not?
I've heard.
I enjoyed June 2. I thought it was really good. I preferred it over the first film, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
This third one, Chalamet, is supposed. Well, they age him because it's supposed to be set 10 or 15 years after
Oh,
the events of Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
Because apparently the character of Paul Atreides, I mean, again, I've not read the books, but apparently the character of Paul Atreides is not a nice character
Right.
sort of towards the end of the books. So it's going to be interesting to see what Denis Villeneuve does with it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I'll watch the second one soon, I think, and then I'll definitely go see that. It's good casting that as well. So
yeah, that's in the summer, isn't it? Is it in the summer or is it? No, I think it's at the same time as Doomsday. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
That's
it is. Yeah, they keep
crazy. I think they'll move that.
About the release
I can't
date
see
being the same. Yeah,
crazy coming out the same day. But and Josh, being a Bond fan, are you happy about Denis Villeneuve directing the new James Bond?
Yeah, I don't know what to expect now. It's gone under a different company, but
Amazon,
different producers as well. Because I think it's the same woman that does the Sony Spider-Man films. I think she's one of the producers now.
Okay,
been great. I think it's David Heyman who's done Harry Potter and stuff, but I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from this.
I think with him in the direct, as long as he's got creative control
him,
as well, I think.
Yeah,
I think he, and it's been. I think it's been confirmed now that they are definitely going with an unknown actor, or somebody that's not well known. Which is how it should be. I think. I mean, there was a lot of. I quite like the idea. I think Cavill had the look of Bond a few years ago. He might be starting to get a bit older for it, but I think probably the best bet is to go with an unknown.
Yeah,
let's continue how it's done in the past.
Yeah, I think so. But it depends if they go down classic route or if they continue what they've started doing with Craig towards the end. I don't know. I don't know how I feel yet. I'll still wait and see. Yeah. I mean, who knows when we'll get that film as well, because it doesn't sound like they're anywhere near starting it yet, unfortunately.
Who is your favourite actor to play Bond?
I would say Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with Pierce Brosnan, so he was like my first Bond, really.
Yeah.
Connery. I think my favourite Bond film is From Russia with Love.
Okay.
Favourite one. But they're all great. I like all of them. There's no one I dislike out of all of them. But I'd say, early Connery is probably my favourite. I think yours is Roger Moore. Is that right?
Well, I'd say Craig actually is probably my favourite James Bond film is Casino Royale.
Oh yeah.
Craig, I do like, although I do like Timothy Dalton as well. I thought he was he set the benchmark.
Oh yeah,
which Craig took and run with. He was before his time, unfortunately, and obviously, he's your favourite Bond, isn't he, AJ?
Isn't yeah?
He is. Like you said, he was. Audiences weren't ready for that darker take on Bond that he kind of brought to it.
Yeah,
and that's why they sort of went back with Pierce Brosnan. Why they sort of started going back a bit sort of lighter in some of his movies, because audiences just weren't ready for it. And then obviously Craig came along, and and audiences were ready for it because of the Bourne films and things like that.
Yeah.
But no, Timothy Dalton stands as my favourite.
Yeah.
With License to Kill being my favourite film, but then License to Kill isn't really a Bond film.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not, it's more of an action film from that era. The Lethal Weapon era and all that sort of a thing. I do like GoldenEye. I think GoldenEye is a very good film.
Yeah. That's the one Brosnan film I do enjoy. The rest I can leave. I don't. Die Another Day. I
need to rewatch him, really. It's been so long. The other, I mean, I may rewatch the Pierce Brosnan ones at some point. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
They stand up.
And the other film that I'm quite intrigued about, Disclosure Day, Spielberg. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah, with the UFO. Yeah, the trailer.
That I think. I mean, with Spielberg, he's not done anything for a little while, has he, Spielberg? So it's nice to see him to return to the, I'm quite interested in that. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, yeah, like you say, it's an interesting mix of films this year. Hopefully some big hits. And, yeah, it would be nice to see a resurgence at the cinema, because I do think it is kind of struggling. It has been in the last few years. But yeah. I don't know where AJ's gone, but I'm about to wrap up. So, really appreciate you coming on, Josh.
Yeah,
it's nice to meet you. And I say, if you want to, by all means, do another stream with us at some point,
of course.
You're more than welcome to. We can chat about different things, and like I say, I will leave a link for Josh's the Still Versus Etsy store in the description. When the stream's ended, I've got to go and do that. But yeah, please check out the Stillverse, because you've got some great products on there. And certainly, if you're interested in creating your own custom steelbooks or adding magnets to steelbooks, go and check out his store.
Yeah,
cool,
perfect.
Right, and we have another guest here, Brody.
Brody, anything to add?
Cool. Right. Well.
Perfect. Well, thanks, guys. It's nice to finally meet you face to face. Anyway, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all good.
Got an order. Yeah, a couple of images I want to send over to you for magnets. So yeah, we'll be getting those over to you.
Yeah, perfect. Look forward to it. Perfect. Cool.
Brody, what you got?
Right. Okay. Well, thanks ever so much for everyone who's commented and watched this morning. And if you're watching this on the hang on, we've got a Bond ranking here. Roger Moore, Lazenby. Yeah, Lazenby I quite enjoyed. I quite like On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah. That film was growing on me. Brosnan, Dalton, Craig. Yeah, okay. Good ranking.
Okay.
What was I saying? Thanks ever so much for everyone watching, commenting, and wish you all a happy new year. Hope you enjoy the films of this year, and we'll be back at some point in the future. Take care all, and see you later.
Later on.
If you guys just want to stay on, we can just wrap up. Cool. Bye now.